Biofriendly Podcast. It's a Biofriendly Podcast.
So I guess I can't use that part.
Oh, did we start?
No, it doesn't matter.
I didn't know. I don't know why I didn't realize we started.
I was like, that's a great intro to the show. Not anymore.
Now the intro to the show is you laughing because I said a naughty word.
That's the intro to the show. Is that Noel spread some holiday cheer is what he did.
I spread holiday cheer.
It was a good joke, though. I'm not going to fault you for that. It was very funny. Can't fault you for going for it because it was good. If you guys only knew, on the alternate Biofriendly podcast.
The alternate Biofriendly podcast. Mm-hmm. Well, we have to do our Noel and Jacob After Dark show sometime.
That's the plan. That's the plan. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
HBO After Dark with
where
Noel
you and I wear lingerie.
Yeah. It's very risque,
Yeah.
but very sustainable.
Oh no, it's
lingerie.
It's totally great. It's you know it's definitely made sustainably, and we don't do fast fashion. Like whatever lingerie you see us in the first day is what you'll see us in every day.
Every day, and it's made from
hemp,
recycled egg cartons and hemp.
Yeah.
That's basically
and
it.
it's compostable.
As are we.
That's how you know that we're truly a biofriendly podcast.
We are.
Is that we are compostable.
We are 100% compostable.
Do you know what we are?
What?
We are compostable.
We are.
Just not while we're living and moving around and eating and doing stuff.
Yeah.
Then our body regenerates.
You want to know something that's terrible?
Huh.
At the end of last week's show, we did a thing that made us laugh, and we're like, that's going in next week. We just have to remember it. And I watched it back, and I was like, I'm going to remember. Going into the next show, I'm going to remember the tag, and it is gone. It's so far gone. Like it's disappeared completely from my mind. So I'm already going to tell you as a beginning to the show that this great thing that we thought of last week, it's already gone. So
well, that's kind of the charm of the show, though, right? Like depending on which day whichever one you're listening to, the tag might differ.
Yeah.
Because that day, this is the new one.
This is the one.
But if it doesn't stick, like then, if we have to look it up, then it's not gonna stick.
That's true.
It's not true.
If it doesn't stick, then it's not real.
If it doesn't stick, it's not real. If it's not real, then it isn't alive.
Yeah.
If it's not alive, then it's not part of our tag.
That's right.
That's my theory on that.
That's my theory. Well, hey, if you were watching the show, then you will have noticed that we did a little bit of decorating.
It's beginning to look a lot like
Christmas. So yeah, we decided to go in a different look. We have green lights around the Biofriendly sign, which I think looks great. It's green.
And we always go talk bubble style.
We go talk bubble style. That's what I think this looks like. It looks like a comic book, and it's somebody talking, right?
Yeah.
So it's like Biofriendly.
Because the plug is down, the plug is down below, and then there's a light string that goes up to our Biofriendly sign, which is square.
Right.
And if you're watching this and you're like, I can see it, this is for the people who listen, which is most of our
audience.
Basically, almost none of our audience
95% listen to the show.
99.
Yeah, 90. Yeah, you're right. There's literally 5 people who watch on YouTube.
Yeah, more of you should though. It's we're very engaging.
We are. Yeah. We're very. Sometimes it's even better to watch us laugh uncontrollably than to just listen to it. So we have some holiday decorations up. And actually, we did get a chance to do this last year because we moved into this studio space last year. And we have the tree behind us. We still have the tree. It's right there. It's just out of frame.
Just look.
Just believe that it's the most glorious. Yeah, just, if you will, pan your YouTube video.
Just turn your computer screen that way.
Pick up your computer and move it a little bit.
Or your phone.
Yeah, or your phone, and you'll see it.
Yeah.
That's how it works, right?
Yeah, that's in the future, I'll bet that is how it works.
It will be.
People
We're going to have
you'll have like those
360-degree YouTube videos.
Absolutely. And people will just turn it and look at,
We could do that one time if we really wanted, because I think that those 360-degree cameras are not that expensive. So we could record an alternate version of the show where they could feel like they're in the room and they could just scan the space.
They'll look at poor Alan in his office.
Yeah, Alan. Hey, that's not meant to be mean, Alan. That's like a complidis.
It's a complidis.
Right? That's what the kids say.
Do they really?
Well, compledis is an actual thing, right? It's a compliment, but it's also an insult. So you're negging. You're like kind of like you're saying something
They're
nice.
saying compledis now?
Well, this might be a couple of years ago. I'm out of the loop.
You're out of touch.
Big time.
Yeah. I'm so out of touch, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Wow.
Like, it happened and left before I even saw it.
Yeah.
That's why I don't keep up. Because it's all going to go away anyway.
It's all going to go away.
All the cool kids right now who are coming up with cool phrases.
Yeah.
Guess what?
What?
In 10 years, you're all going to be irrelevant nerds.
I know. And look, there was a phrase just the other day on Twitter, and I wanted to say, I don't know, I get what it means, but I didn't know it was a thing. Somebody said, I don't mean to be cute on Main, but, and then they said something
Cute
like,
on Main, like Main Street?
yeah, I don't mean to be cute on Main, but, and then they said something like kind of adorable, kind of sweet. And so I was like, is this a thing? I don't know. Cute on Main Street.
I'm sure it is, and I'm sure that it will last, but I promise you that the children of tomorrow will usurp your
That's right.
title, and you will be irrelevant.
The children of tomorrow shall usurp your title, and you will become
Yes.
irrelevant. It's very true.
All of these clever things you said. Your grandpa said something clever 80 years ago too, and
now
people were
now
like,
nobody
"Wow,
cares."
that was really clever." All of his contemporaries were like, "Wow, that was rad." And people are going to say this forever, and they don't.
Yeah.
This is I guess a bummer run for people who are on Twitter ruling the world right now, but that's just how it goes.
And you just said the word rad, I think. And that was one at one point in time that was cool, and it's not anymore.
And it's not anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm going to keep saying it
I love the word rad. I still use it. I don't care.
because it's a great word.
It's a great word.
And it expresses exactly how I feel about
And it was a great movie.
things.
It was a great movie too.
Yeah?
Rad, the BMX bike movie.
Oh, that's right.
Rad!
Oh, that was a great movie.
I mean, I don't know if it holds up at all, but I remember as a kid I loved it.
Yeah.
But today's subject
It was no Gleaming the Cube.
It was No Gleaming the Cube with Christian Slater, which was one of his first films, I think. That's a good one, too. Today's subject, I think we arrived upon it pretty naturally.
Organically,
Because
this is an organic subject, so
Yeah.
you can buy this at the store and feel good about it.
Because, Noel, fill us in a little bit on how we started our day.
We ordered we went with glass because we thought it would be easier to recycle and it
Right.
would be better for the environment. But basically there's a bus company in Singapore that the children in that bus company who take these buses, they're smaller buses, but who take them to school every day, have been complaining that they use really bad fuel and their diesel and they
emissions
just
are-
put fumes into the cabin and the kids are like losing their minds with the amount of pollution that's just getting all over them.
Right.
So this service company in Singapore, they're trying to do something about it, and they looked us up and they found us. They're like, hey, wait, you guys can get rid of this? And we said, yeah, we can absolutely get rid of it.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, can we try something? Can we do a pilot thing and give it? So we're like, okay, yeah. Well, how do we treat a tank or whatever? But in their case, they need to actually
bottles.
just treat the bottles into bus tanks.
Yeah.
So that's not something we normally do. We usually work with oil companies.
Right.
To reduce it at that level. But that's okay. So we want to make it work because we want to help these kids out.
Sure.
So we ordered these glass bottles thinking this is a good, one shot, then you can recycle them, or they can even clean them out and use them for other stuff.
Yeah,
right?
they can use it. It's not adding to the plastic problem. It's glass.
Right.
So,
We thought this would be a good idea. So we did that anyways. We got these bottles and we're trying to be all thinking about the environment and nature and everything else. And they come in to our office here so that we can label
Big
them
box.
up and get them ready. And
Big
then
box, yep.
send them up north so they can be filled and shipped. And they came in the most gigantic box.
Huge.
Two overly gigantic
boxes.
And we opened them up and we were exploded
Dynamite.
with styrofoam peanuts.
Styrofoam peanuts went everywhere.
I don't know if you if you guys know what it's like when it's wintertime. Has anyone been alive during winter?
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
A few of our listeners.
In wintertime, when the air is a little drier and the static electricity is a little bit clingier, styrofoam peanuts
Cling
in the winter
to your body.
do not get. It's like we walked into a snowstorm that wouldn't go away.
It was comical.
It was pretty hilarious.
We probably
actually.
should have taken a picture of it because we were trying to get these the bottles out of the box with the styrofoam peanuts. And every time we reached in, more of our bodies would be covered with styrofoam peanuts, and they stuck to our bodies, and we looked. I mean, it looked like
we were either tarred and feathered.
Yes,
maybe.
Yeah, or like covered in like snow chunks.
Yes,
it looked like when you get out of sledding and you got like giant balls of snow like stuck all over your clothes.
Could not get them off.
Right,
we couldn't get them off, and then they fell all over the ground, and we couldn't get them off the ground, and then we couldn't get them back in the box.
It was just a mess.
And then we're like, what do we do with these things? You can't recycle them. You can't. Like, and it made us think, this is a problem.
This is a problem, and this is why we need to talk about it on the Biofriendly podcast. We're going to talk about packaging, specifically, styrofoam peanuts and the problems that those cause, obviously, and then just packaging problems in general.
And maybe we'll give you some tips, some pointers about what you could do for the holidays.
We are.
Because one of the big issues right now, particularly in the holidays, is we're not all spending them as closely together as normal because, there's a pandemic that's still
going
Do you remember when I was
on.
adorable and I was like, a couple months?
Yeah.
But wait, it's on tape.
Yeah, it's on tape. We now can go down in history back in March.
Go back to what I said. I was like,
just
look,
say,
we'll get through this.
hang
It's
in
not going to be so
there.
bad. This might even be a positive thing. We're going to get a break. I was so positive.
Though a lot of people were, so don't be too hard on yourself because a lot of people just didn't know. This is literally terrain that we have never dealt with in our entire lives. This happened in 1918, which we were not around for.
No, we weren't. I wasn't there.
So I was not there. No. So the majority of the world was all kind of going, if we play our cards right, hopefully by summer, we'll be done.
We'll be done.
And boy, were we wrong.
We were way off.
We were Samsonite. I was way off. No, but
we're not with each other probably for some of. I mean, hopefully you can can see your immediate family, at least your immediate family, and that there's that there's some loved ones you can be with, but but I also it is kind of a dangerous time for some people, and so you can't necessarily see your parents, you can't necessarily see grandparents, you can't. I mean, a lot of people you can't see, and you can't just go around having the same rager that everyone normally has during the holidays. Yeah. So it means we're going to be shipping more gifts around the place. So we thought this might be helpful also to talk about it for that reason.
Yeah, we thought, if there's anything that especially happened on the beginning of lockdown coronavirus is people started ordering stuff, right? Ordering stuff was like, okay, I need to get some stuff, Amazon. Or, I know Amazon can be, a problematic company in terms of the amount of stuff that they take away from smaller businesses and family-owned businesses, but I know a lot of people still get their stuff on Amazon. But we got boxes after boxes, and I'm sure you've had happen.
Amazon we could spend this whole episode just talking about what a nightmare Amazon is in terms of their shipping.
Yes, because I'm sure you have ordered a key or a guitar pick or something, and you get a box, and you open that box, and then it's got another box inside, and it's got another box inside, and you're like, hey, thanks for the Russian doll packaging situation. I really appreciate it, guys. This was thinking ahead. So I'm sure that's happened to a lot of our listeners, right?
Yeah. It's happening to me right now. I get home and there's boxes at the front door, and I bring them in and we open them up,
and there's a box and there's a packaging. Yeah.
It's it's a whole lot of what Amazon's doing now is they're putting the plastic. They do the bubble, air bubble wrap stuff, right? Yeah. And then they put that in, which so that's not really recyclable either because of what it's made of, and it doesn't take up as much. It's a lot of air, so it's not as much as peanuts, which take up a ton of space. So I suppose it's better. Yeah. But it's not great.
It's an improvement. And one of the things that I found is these airbags, they're better. But so to give a little bit of it looks like, because I was searching about Amazon specifically, and I was like, are they even trying to remedy this problem? And I didn't even know that this existed, and maybe some of you did, but I thought it's worth sharing that Amazon, since they are getting so many packages, they have a program that they have, and it is called, where is it? Frustration-Free Packaging Program. Have you heard of this?
No.
I hadn't either. And so that's not good because this isn't, whether this is a new program, it looks like it's been within the last year, but Amazon shoppers have a frustration-free packaging program. The company will ship certain products to shoppers in recyclable packaging instead of a traditional Amazon package with bubble wrap, plastic, and smaller. But you have to go online, and they have, as of the writing of this, about 1 million of their products that could be shipped with the frustration-free packaging. So not everything can be.
Right.
But you can go in and choose it.
Okay.
So That's one thing.
It's something.
It's something.
I
And
mean,
then,
I guess you could say they're trying, and that's good. I laugh because I remember seeing a commercial where they said we're gonna be zero emissions by 2030, and the first thing the guy says in the commercial, he's like, "We don't know how we're gonna do it, but
we're gonna do it.
We're gonna try."
right?
It's like you just announced it to greenwash us, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
Like that's
Just
good.
confessed
You
it,
just said this so that people would say, "Yay, Amazon's gonna." You have no plan.
Yeah.
Make a plan, then announce.
Yeah. The year dropping is a total green trend, isn't it? It's like everybody is like, oh, well, Nike says they're going to go carbon, emissions free by 2035. So everybody feels like they got to set a date out where they, claim, oh, yeah, well, us too, it's by 2056. We're going to be clear.
Well, right. And everybody, and that's exactly it. If you say a date, then you're going to do it. But there are many, 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 many examples of companies in the past who said, okay, by this date, we're going to, in fact, we just talked about chocolate as a great example, right? A couple of weeks ago, chocolate companies committing to stopping, poor practices of getting there. I'm sorry, my headphones.
No, it's okay. My headphones cut out too, so I'm wondering if we just bumped the thingamajig.
I probably broke something.
Yeah, probably.
Anyways,
I still see the audio waves though.
They missed it. They tried. We tried,
right,
but
they
missed
missed their target date.
But you make the announcement, right? And you say, okay, we're going to do it. Yay, we're going to go for it. And I'm glad you're announcing it. And I'm glad you're saying you're going to go for it. But if you miss it, what's going to happen?
Right.
Well, we tried.
Right, exactly.
Come up with a plan.
Yeah.
Say, here's how we're going to do it. Here's how it's feasible. And then let's go for it. And then I'm going to listen to you. Until then, don't do a commercial where you literally say, well, you have no idea how we're going to do it.
But here at Amazon.
Amazon drives me insane.
I know. I agree. And so I'm giving them, that's why I'm kind of throwing it out at the beginning, because I know a lot of us, with holiday shopping, like over the quarantine, there was a book I was going to order, and a friend of mine was like, hey, go to the actual bookstore that sells the book. And so I went to the bookstore, so I tried to do that.
Yeah.
But I too order from Amazon because it is convenient. And
this is the perfect storm for companies like Amazon because it is safer to order instead get stuff home, get stuff sent to you. I mean, it just is, right?
Yeah.
That you're not out right now with all the people, and they're taking advantage of that, and they're growing, and their stock's going through the roof, and that's I guess that is what it is.
Yeah.
But it is kind of unfortunate for the mom and pop bookstore that has the book, or for some of these local businesses that
you can get stuff
could go just walk over to it, and under normal circumstances, the better option would be go for a little walk to the closest store and see what's there.
Yeah, but I know that's difficult in today's day and age. But so the frustration-free packaging, they offer that. So I highly recommend, if you use a lot of Amazon, look into that, because that at least could make some difference. Yeah. And then they also have something that says on the homepage for the Amazon Second Chance program, which is the company offers a step-by-step guide on how to properly recycle or otherwise dispose of their various packaging materials. So it's basically...
It's where Amazon asks for a second chance when they don't make their goal by 2030.
Right, exactly. That's what the Second Chance program is. Yeah, but enough about them.
I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
Such a jerk.
No.
I will stop. I'm sorry.
I think
they have done a lot of very actually good things.
Right.
They have been able to deliver. They've changed the way a lot of things work, so you can get packages very quickly for free, and that's amazing, and it has meant people can stay home, and it does make it easier to shop, and you can just make an Amazon list for your Christmas gifts. I mean, there's a lot of incredibly convenient, wonderful things that they have done for the world.
But we have to call out their BS.
Yeah, I think
you have to. We are a green environmental podcast, and you have to hold these companies accountable. And just saying a date, like I get encouraged when a company says, when you see the dates over tiers, like by 2022, by 2024, by 2026, and you see a plan of action. Yes, that is for me something that means a lot. Yeah. So I'd like to see Amazon do that.
Because then you can see that they've thought it out. Like, well, here's how it's possible. Here's how we can do it. Yeah. Here's how we can go forward. Microsoft does a good one.
Yeah. Microsoft actually does a really good one.
Yeah. So, but I mean, that's so there are companies that are like, here's our goal. Here's how we think we can make it. Here's what we're going to do. And for them, I say, well, look at that, because now the whole time efforts are being made. Yeah. And we know what they are. Anyways, that is a tangent.
No, it's not. It's on subject. So it's not a tangent because we're talking about packaging, but we saw these styrofoam peanuts, and actually, I gotta say, to be honest, it's rare you even see those anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like the fact that we opened this box and it had them, I was kind of like, What year is it? I know most of you probably don't see them anymore.
Right, it's true, and a lot of they created those new plastic foam peanuts. Like
they make biodegradable ones. Yeah, it's on the list of things that are alternate.
Yeah, so there are better peanuts than the ones we got today.
Yeah, biodegradable packaging peanuts. So basically, a lot of companies have done away with that, but it says for businesses looking for the closest thing to that kind of packaging, and it's popular because you know that it's going to pad the product because it kind of goes everywhere. That's why it's so enticing.
Sure.
But there are companies now that make a biodegradable air peanut, and basically it's material that can, break down over time, not styrofoam. Styrofoam is a product.
Well, so styrofoam, and they're not actually sure. I'm going to give you a little look into how they work this out and how sometimes they're even wrong.
Okay. But I love this take. I love when Noel gives us the Noel Carroll hot take.
So they judge how many years it's going to take based on an ultraviolet test. Mm-hmm. Like they'll basically zap something with an incredibly large amount of ultraviolet radiation, like you would get from the sun over enough time, but it's basically more than you would. They do more of it, so it's more than the sun, and then they do a mathematical calculation to figure out, okay, with this much ultraviolet radiation, it's going to biodegrade over this much time, and then they say styrofoam's going to take 1,000 years between, maybe even longer, maybe 2,000 years.
Somebody was writing that they said it was 1 million, and I was like,
it's
I don't think
not 1 million years.
I know. I saw that, and I was like, I don't think it's 1 million.
Yeah, that it never biodegrades when it's not true.
Yeah.
So now that it gives you an idea, right? If something's sitting out in the sun forever, but that's not really how it works. Things go into landfills or get stepped on or get torn into little pieces and get shredded into little bits, and then stuff eats it, and then that degrades in the acids of stomachs, or it gets into the water gets onto it, bacteria gets it, all sorts of different things happen that change the way it works. And the better estimate that a lot of scientists give is 500. I mean, they say 500 years probably for styrofoam. Yeah, and that plastic actually even good news, plastic in the ocean, the reaction of salt water with the ultraviolet radiation, they're saying that actually it's biodegrading way faster in the ocean than it does on land. Oh, okay. So hopefully those islands.
So put your bottles in the ocean, kids. No, that was a joke. That was a total joke.
Well, okay, so you've seen that there, ladies and gentlemen, the pictures of the whale that's cut open and he's just got trash in his stomach.
Yeah.
So that's the issue with
is that the sea life eats it.
Yeah, it's worse than even the plastic island is that just these bottles, this garbage that just floats out in the ocean. A whale will eat it thinking it's food, and then stomach will be full, but it will be hungry, but it won't have any room to put anything in because the body doesn't digest the plastic. And then it washes up on shore, they cut it open, and a bunch of trash falls out. And that's sad.
That's sad, and we don't like it.
That's another tangent.
Yes. No.
But my point is, even so, it does while they're not exactly sure how long it takes, it will take hundreds of years for it to biodegrade. And that's a really, 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 really long time.
It is.
For something to biodegrade. So it's much better to find other options and do other things. And that's something that we will also want to talk about today, just beyond the fact that we're angry that we were covered in static electricity and styrofoam today.
We were bothered by the styrofoam peanuts. Yeah. But you are starting to see... I'm styrofoam in general, and this is a little tangential as well, but it's rare to even go to an eatery these days, and more the old school places will do the styrofoam containers. More and more people are kind of moving away from that. It is one of those things like cigarette smoking, where you see it's just something that you kind of go, most everybody, at least in the United States, maybe I'm also just speaking from a Californian perspective, but you just don't see it as much.
It's definitely
on its way out.
Yeah, for sure.
But since everybody
this is the thing about humanity. We actually are.
We're listening.
Pretty good.
Yeah, we're trying to figure things out.
We screw things up really, really, really wonderfully when we try to become super cheap and super easy. Yeah. But when we find out that it's bad, for the most part, humans are like, "Oh, I don't want to do that." Yeah. And we fix it and we correct, and yes, it takes time, and eventually there won't be any styrofoam. They just won't use it. People won't make styrofoam. And I think that plastic will be used for what it should be used for, which are things that last.
Yeah, exactly. Like we talk about a lot on this show. That plastic being a valuable resource as something that's not single use, but something that's long-term use.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And that there will be other solutions for other things, and people will just change the way they live. Yeah. You see it. I think we hear stories about it, from people even listening to our show, about people just changing their life, changing the way they act and what they do. And I think that's going to make the big difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
But with packaging. So if you don't have it, you know what I was thinking?
What?
Every year at the end of Christmas, we have wrapping paper that's been torn apart to pieces because that's the funnest way to do it.
Yeah.
And thrown all about, and then we take all that paper, and then we crunch it together and we throw it into the recycle box, and then we recycle that paper.
Yeah.
But I was looking at it when you put all that together, that's
good packing.
Really good fluffy packing, and particularly the way the kids tear it up into pieces.
Yeah.
It's like
that's a great idea.
That's peanuts right there, man.
Yeah. That's one of the things that people say that when you're going to ship some items, some gifts to other people, is you lean on the things that you already have.
Yeah.
That's a good way to go.
Yeah.
So that's on this list that I had. They were saying, things that are around your home, packaging that you have. They were even saying like fabrics, clothes, stuff that you were going to get rid of, something that was going to be tossed. Like you could take an old bunch of t-shirts, sweatshirts, whatever, wad them up. That's going to be packaging. So
everybody who's getting my old socks, when you also receive the
Merry
Christmas gift for me, Merry Christmas.
Here's my boxer shorts that I don't wear anymore. Merry Christmas, Mom and Dad. But no, that's definitely, it's all about taking things and reusing them, and just think if you shipped something off to somebody else and you used a bunch of wrapping paper, old newspaper or something like that, and then that person decided, instead of just throwing this in a pile, they kept it and then they used it on the package that they sent, and then you did that like 5 or 6 times. Well, then you're going to reduce a big problem amongst those. Eventually it's gonna break down.
Like the wrapping paper, right? So if you did that 3 times and then recycled it, it's like, well, hey, all right,
got some mileage out of that.
Some
wrapping
good
paper.
mileage out of wrapping paper.
Exactly.
And then that's how many packages that don't need the extra packaging.
Yeah.
But so I'll let you go through. I'm gonna drop some crazy ideas as we go here.
I want you to.
Whatever comes to my mind.
I'm gonna share because we like to on the Biofriendly podcast give you things that you can do. So here are some choices that while you're shipping. So they make a corrugated bubble wrap. It's not as fun as the plastic kind that you can sit there with and just pop, pop, pop. I know we all love that. But they basically make a upcycled corrugated cardboard that kind of duplicates what that bubble wrap does, but it's in cardboard.
It's going to be better for the
environment.
It's
going to be much better.
Yeah.
So that's probably pretty easy to find. Air pillows, this was to your point you said earlier about the air pillows. So air pillows made of recycled materials are a much better step in the right direction. So a lot of these air bags that you see...
I look at those as like natural gas.
Yeah, right?
Like
it's a transitional thing.
That's a transitional. Like that's, we got this plastic. It's all over the place. Yeah. This is a better solution than what we're doing.
Yeah.
Probably not the end solution, but it's something to go in the way.
Yeah, and if you open up the package and it has the air things, the air plastic bubbles in there, and it says things like this was made from recycled plastic or this is a compostable plastic, then that's great. That's even a step in a better direction.
Yeah,
because we've learned how to package air. Then it says
using air
to send presents.
Contain our gifts.
That's right. I just send those. Just send air.
Here's air packaged around my socks.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas. Cornstarch packaging. So I wasn't familiar with this. It just said cornstarch is an organic material that has made inroads into the eco-friendly packaging industry derived from the corn or maize plant. Anyway, so it's, I don't know where you
How about just the old corn stalks, man, after you've eaten through the corn and just
idea.
Throw it in there?
If you have access to a lot of corn stalks, use that for packaging.
Probably
That's great
heavy.
too.
It's going to increase the weight of your packaging.
It's going to be very expensive to send it. Now, this is one that sent me on kind of searching another path. Mm-hmm. Mushroom packaging. And this is... an entire business grew out of this.
Mushroom packaging, okay.
So there was this company called Evocative Design, and they figured out that mushroom roots kind of like, whittled down can become like a fine.
Look at that.
Yeah, so mycocomposite mycelium, which is a type of mushroom.
You gotta post just a picture of that stuff
will.
and put it on the painless screen.
Yeah, 'cause
because
isn't that cool?
That is a really interesting picture.
It is.
That's cool.
And you can see like these companies, Magical Mushroom Company, which sounds like a really
Magical Mushroom Company?
sounds fun.
Are you kidding me?
It just says Magical Mushroom Company is in the UK. First ever production plant manufacturing mycelium-based packaging.
Good on 'em.
Way to go, UK. Paradise Packaging. So these are all these companies that use these evocative design. And then when I went down to the bottom, it showed companies like, big heavy-duty partners like IKEA.
Oh, cool.
And whatnot that they were partnering with. So what you're starting to see is these actual shaped, like the classic styrofoam where you put the items in it, but it's made out of this mushroom corrugate.
Something I would
cool.
say about IKEA
Yeah.
as the anti-Amazon statement here.
Yes. Okay.
The way that they package
Is great.
the way that they what you get from them and what you end up creating in your home is, I mean, yes, the directions are weird. They don't quite work. And you might end up having to break your thumb in order to have the thing actually exist. But if you think about the efficiency, that's the thought that's been put into both the packaging and also how they build their material, create their materials.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, they've made so many announcements this year about their efforts for packaging and going green and trying to do things. Because I mean, the Swedes, they're ahead of us.
Totally.
In a lot of that regard. So that it is very organized. You're right. Like even the things that link everything together. It's like once you're done, you've used everything in that box except for
everything in the box except for maybe one or two extra screws they gave you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I agree. They're doing things the way that more businesses need to be doing them.
Yeah, well they think with it, which is that's really all that's really the whole point of the podcast, honestly, is to get to try to encourage people to have the information and think with it. Yeah. But sorry, carry on.
No, you're fine. So
mushroom.
Yeah, mushrooms. So pretty cool. I don't know how readily available that is to the public as much as it is like these people who make the mycelium packaging sell to businesses.
Right.
So it's not like something that you can go out and get easily unless you have this amazing mushroom garden. And if you do, then grind those puppies up and get to shipping. So there you go. Seaweed Packaging.
Grind those puppies up and get to shipping.
get to shipping. Seaweed Packaging.
Oh.
So yeah, that's another type of so from corn to mushrooms to seaweed, the gelatinous substance agar, which is found in a variety.
Sammy agar?
Yeah, Sammy agar.
Okay.
I can't ship 55. Found in a variety of seaweeds and algae is already used in several applications. Okay. So there's a lot of food industry places are shipping in seaweed.
I mean, if you're shipping food anyway, you may as well throw seaweed in there.
Some seaweed around there.
I mean, come on.
So it's like the one kind of packaging that if you want, you could eat it.
Yeah.
You could be like, well, I just ordered this,
they've been using sushi.
Yeah.
They've been using seaweed to keep sushi together for years.
Why not, right?
Why not do it now? I mean, geez, let's just ship things in seaweed.
Yep. And then here's listed your point about the wrapping paper, recycled cardboard and paper. So just grabbing things around your house, old boxes, old paper, old newspapers, wrapping paper, use the things that you already have.
Yeah. Oh, there's something that I read, I think on our site about cardboard.
One of our articles on biofriendlyplanet.com where you should go.
biofriendlyplanet.com where you should always be.
Yes.
You can use, so cardboard is compostable.
Really?
Which means that if you have...
Oh, yeah, I knew that. Cardboard is compostable.
Yeah, so if you have weeds in your backyard or your front yard or something, and you're thinking, I want to handle those weeds, but I don't know what to do about it, what you do is you get the cardboard, like your cardboard sheet, and you lay it down on top of those weeds, and then you put mulch on top of that, and then you water it, and then within 3 months, it'll just turn into fertilizer. It'll just be a beautiful...
That's awesome.
It'll kill what's the weeds below it, and then create a nice landscape for you to plant whatever you'd like.
I love that.
Isn't that awesome?
That is awesome, and you learn that from biofriendlyplanet.com.
So go to biofriendlyplanet.com.
I'll share that.
Also,
I'm gonna share that again.
The people get super creative with cardboard. You can use people will.
You could build castles.
Yeah, they make castles, they make mazes, they turn them into coasters. Oh, yeah. I guess cardboard is really, if you have cloth. Yeah. It's really great as a centerpiece for making weird random things, and you cover in cloth and look really nice. Like you can make rings for napkins.
Yeah.
You can do all sorts of stuff.
You can go Etsy bananas.
Etsy banana. You can make an Etsy banana.
Yeah, you can make an Etsy banana out of cardboard. No, it is a very...
Cat towers.
Yeah,
they like
cat
to scratch
towers.
things.
Cardboard, there's a lot you can do with it. Like if you're into cosplay, if you're into prop designing, if you're making, little silly things around your house for your kids to play in.
Spaceship.
There's a lot of fun stuff that can be had. Like I know, I'm sure your kids are the same. Whenever in the history of our lives a gigantic box has arrived in my home, like whether it's some big appliance or something that you bought and it's huge, it is impossible to get rid of that box when my kids were little. Like it was got so bad that I had to sneak the box out of the house while they were asleep. Yeah. Because that was literally...
It was toys.
It was like throwing away Woody and Buzz. Yeah. It was just like that. Yeah. Because they had cut, doors into it, drawn little windows and written their names, all this stuff. Yeah. And you have it and you go with it for a little while. Right. You're like, yeah, they're having fun. But after about a month or two of this stupid box, you kind of go like, I can't handle this anymore. I want to get this out of my house.
And your kids are like, Dad, one day you're going to be an environmentalist who does like a show about being green. You got to think about that, man.
You got to hang on to this box forever. But there's a lot of uses out of cardboard. And I now at my place have a compost pile. And so we do take our, whenever you do take your cardboard and put it in the compost, you have to strip them down. You have to take off all the Amazon labels and the box tape and all that stuff. So you got to get them stripped down. And pizza boxes, unfortunately, I think maybe pizza boxes
pizza boxes are fine.
They can compost. You can't recycle them because of the
they're grease, right? But they're perfect for compost. That's actually a great use of pizza boxes.
So take your pizza boxes and put them in the compost.
Yes, sir. And also, don't be afraid. This is something I had to... So in the old days, I started a business manufacturing and selling soccer goals many years. That was my start into the business world. Yeah,
he was the Tony Stark of soccer goals.
Soccer goals, as odd as that sounds, right? For all the different random stuff. I was a soccer goal. I built them and sold them. And you had to package those things, right? And there were all sorts of times when someone want a custom goal and I make some custom design and figure out how am I going to ship this thing, or I'm shipping a weird amount of balls or shirts or whatever, right? And one thing that I figured out you could do is like if you have an old box, if you go MacGyver, it is, you open that thing up and it is a flat board that you can turn into any object you want. You can turn it into any sized box you want. Yeah. Just by being creative with how you cut it. So I love it. The problem that we had here with our Uline shipment is that they had two boxes that were they were 2 times too big. Yeah. They could have probably fit them all in the same box, but they didn't, right? Yeah. And maybe they were worried about weight. Maybe they were worried about the glass. I don't know. But what I could tell you is if you took those boxes and you cut them down into a smaller size and shipped 2 boxes, you wouldn't have needed all the packaging because it all would have been snug against itself. Yeah. And it would have been fine because they also had the inner packaging, which had the. I mean, they didn't. I'm so mad at Uline.
It was just but that's the feeling that we get in this country where it's like you get when you get a box and it's full of so much unnecessary packaging. That's the most frustrating thing.
Particularly when you get into this life, like the more
because you go, there was a better way to do this. And there was a better way.
I promised when we started this show 2 years ago or whatever it was that I wasn't going to go around being a green monster forcing people to do this and that thing, because that's not what we want to do. But I do at times when things are just wrong in the privacy of my own screams. We'll lose.
In the privacy of my own screams. I love that expression.
I will lose my mind sometimes when I see things like that. I go like, "What is wrong with you, idiot, moron, butt custard losers?"
You're bringing the hits right now. Bringing the hits. Well,
but I'm not going to, sorry, I'm calming down.
Butt custard.
I'm calming down. If you're listening to the show right now, it's okay. I'm not that, I know that we're all learning. I know we're trying. I know we're trying to get better. Yeah. We're not here to we do need to bring people along still. That is still the rule here.
Still the rule.
I'm just admitting that sometimes I lose it.
This has been Noel's Hot Take. Before we get out of here, I'm just going to list off a couple businesses that are doing great.
Okay.
Okay,
That's good. Let's be bright.
Yeah, just so these are businesses that if you recognize, and actually, if you go out there and do some Googling, Binging. Sorry, gotta throw out
use Bing.
Use Bing.
I've been using DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo. I can't believe you just said that.
Yeah.
That is the one you need to be using.
I love it.
Everybody needs to use DuckDuckGo.
I love
That's
it.
a
It
great
gives me
search.
good search results.
Great search engine.
And
they don't track your data.
Me. They're not sitting there,
Yeah.
giving my stuff to advertising companies.
So the official browser of Biofriendly Podcast is DuckDuckGo.
It's DuckDuckGo. It is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I've been my browser. That's my search engine. My browser is Vivaldi.
Oh, what's Vivaldi? I mean, besides a wonderful classical musician that gave us the Four Seasons.
And his name was used for this company that has a browser that's named after him. Called Vivaldi.
Oh, I love it.
So yes, search for that. Try that browser out.
Yeah,
It's fast. It looks nice.
I'll try it.
And also, it doesn't track you and send your data to to advertisers.
Yeah.
So
DuckDuckGo, Vivaldi.
Those are the official recommendations of the Biofriendly podcast.
Yeah, support it. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to list them off fast because I'm not going to sit here and bother you with them. But there's a lot of companies out there that are doing things right. But I was excited when I came across this list, and you'll see why in a second.
Okay.
So first up, Alter Eco. Okay. Boss Foods.
Okay.
So, company called Boss Foods. They're doing a great job on their...
Will we know any of these companies?
Yeah, Boss Foods vegan superfood bars are compostable wrappers. So, like if you bought some kind of food from a Whole Foods or something like that made by Boss Foods.
What do the first guys do?
The first one's Alter Eco. Alter Eco set out a decade ago to find sustainable alternatives to the non-recyclable, flexible plastic used for their chocolate truffle wrappers and stand-up pouch packaging. After several years of research and development, Alter Eco released the first ever laminated stand-up pouch made of plant-based compostable materials for their quinoa products.
Yeah. So they're total hippies.
Total hippies.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah. And then up next, boxed water is better.
Wow.
They're on the list.
Our
so
guys.
our buddy Rob and the boxed water team,
congrats,
they're listed
Rob.
as a team that is doing it right. Company called Buddy Fruits.
Buddy Fruits.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have some of these people on our show.
I know. So Buddy...
Then I can make fun of them to their face.
Yeah, so it says, searching for a more sustainable and equally secure alternative, Buddy Fruits has partnered with TerraCycle. TerraCycle collects and recycles hard-to-recycle products and makes new materials and products.
Cool.
Buddy Fruits customers can request an envelope from TerraCycle to ship in their empty pouches.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool.
Okay.
This next one, I have a feeling you'll know this.
Is it biofriendly?
No.
How are we not on this list?
Are we not on this list? Celestial...
Everything we do.
Celestial tea.
Celestial tea? Yes, I drink celestial tea.
Yes.
That's terrific.
I knew because you're a tea guy. I am not a tea guy,
good.
but he's a tea guy. But I don't know if you knew this.
They have a Madagascar red, which is just breathtaking.
Divine.
It's divine. It's so good.
I don't know if you knew this about Celestial Tea, but they do not use string staples or individual wrappers for its tea bags.
I did know that.
He did know that, guys.
did know that.
So they are doing it right.
Yeah.
So when you buy Celestial,
Yeah.
you're going to heaven.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to heaven.
Oh, you know what? This is a tangent, but I have to say it.
Okay.
I have to say it.
Let's hear it.
The reason that I'm remembering now is because I said heaven, and I was thinking, we've been rewatching The Good Place. And, I'm going to drop a little bit of
That's a good show.
Yeah, it's a great show. And we've been rewatching it with our son. And it's been really good to share and watch about, life and existence. But one of the things, and this is a little bit of a spoiler, so if you don't want to know this aspect, I just think it fits into this subject, which is...
Roughly how many seconds do you think, in case someone wants to fast forward,
I'm going to say
give
this...
yourself a time limit and then start immediately after that.
15 seconds is all I need to say this spoiler.
Okay, and... So I'm sorry. Okay. You're going to fast forward 15 seconds when I say go, okay?
Yeah.
Fast forward 15 seconds and go.
They say in the show that during the afterlife, there's a point-based system that gets you in the good place, the bad place. But one of the big reveals is that the point system is flawed in our modern day and age because you could buy a tomato at the store and then you are getting negative points because you impacted a farmer that was doing it unsustainably and it came on the shipping ship and all this and all that. So that was the point.
That is such a... Welcome back, by the way. You missed the spoiler, but it's fine. No big deal.
That's why I thought it was so... It literally felt like a topic from Biofriendly Podcast, which is the majority of us are trying to do the right thing. We're all trying to do the right thing. And when you are in the eco community and the green community and you order something online and this packaging shows up with a ton of styrofoam peanuts, you're like... No, this shouldn't happen. Yeah. And so that's where I wanted to tell everybody, it's okay. because we're doing the best we can, and sometimes these things are out of our control. The tomato you buy, the thing you get at the store, the package that you get, you're not going to always be able to have control over it, and that's okay.
That's the fact.
Yeah.
That's the fact, and we can't judge.
That was my tangent.
We can't. That's a great tangent, and it's a reminder to me, to Noel, that you can't judge Uline because of one thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
true.
I got to look at the positives. Like what Uline also does is they warehouse in bulk huge amounts of stuff that they then organize and ship out in smaller parcels. What that means is that you don't have to, like Amazon does, you don't have to single file, send something here, there, everywhere. You can send a lot of things to one place, which saves a ton of carbon emissions and also produces less packaging. If they had sent us each one of those individual boxes separately from 14 different locations across the earth,
Then it would have been
way worse.
way worse.
Way worse
Yeah.
than dealing with some peanuts that will, eventually they will biodegrade. Right? So let's just remember, folks, that we're all trying.
We're all doing our
trying
best.
to do our best.
Right.
And that Noel needs to leave poor Uline alone.
That was not a
They're doing their business.
dig at you. It was just reminding everybody like it's
I feel
hard.
like I had to dig at me because I've been I've been a little jerkish today.
It's okay.
A little bit of like,
But it's the holidays. Look at the Christmas lights.
Oh, Merry Christmas, green lights. You're right. It's Christmas. This is a holiday special. This is the holiday packaging special.
That's
what are
right.
you doing, Noel?
What are you doing?
Come on. Get it together.
So before we get out of here, because there's a few on this list, I'm not gonna go into great detail because it's just me reading.
You know what? Just do our favorite. Just do.
Okay,
I want you
okay.
to pick. I want you to
Okay,
pick.
I'm gonna pick a
three
couple
favorites.
So I said celestial tea.
Jacob, we're out of time.
Oh man.
I'm sorry. We gotta go.
We gotta go?
No.
Okay.
Go.
Well, here's another tea one. Honest Tea. You ever gotten Honest Tea?
That is a great name for a tea company. Honest Tea.
Honest Tea. Yeah.
We are Honesty.
Yeah. So they're
Good
doing
for them.
great.
I've never had Honest Tea.
Oh, and hey, Tetra Pak is listed in here.
Good for them.
That's
Tetra
great.
Pak.
Yeah, so that's stepping in the right way to go, guys.
Look at us. Look at how many of these companies. See, look, all these great companies, and they've been on our show. You know why?
Yeah.
Because we should be on that stupid list.
Agreed. Ugh. Okay. Numi Organic Teas. Have you ever had a
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So if you're a tea drinker,
teas are kind of
teas are really
on point.
nailing it.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for my selfish reasons. Saltwater Brewery. I've never had Saltwater Brewery.
Where are
but
they
no.
located?
So does it say?
Probably Salt Lake City, Utah. That's where they get their saltwater.
Yeah, it doesn't. In this, I mean, if I click this link to take me to it, it's going to take me off the page.
Is there anything else on that page we need to tell people about?
Strauss Family Creamery.
Oh, that's
There you go.
good.
I'm going to click it. I'm clicking Saltwater Brewery because I want to know where it is.
You
It
gotta
says
know where it
it says adults only.
Uh-oh.
About
I
us.
see nudity. I don't. I'm kidding.
No, where are they at? I'm clicking the About Us.
About us.
So, small craft brewer. They got 3.5 billion global impressions in less than 5 days with zero media invested.
Wow.
They are in Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're using salt water from the ocean.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Saltwater Brewery in Florida. So way to go, guys.
Yeah.
Keep on. But that's
keep on
been
rocking.
that's been the packaging episode.
Yeah.
The styrofoam peanuts episode.
Happy holidays. Christmas season is here. Enjoy
is.
it. Welcome to Christmas.
Welcome to
we're
Christmas.
We're gonna keep dropping the Christmas goods all month long.
Yes.
We were very excited about that.
We are.
And in fact we've almost confirmed. We've one guest confirmed.
We have a guest that we're hoping to confirm.
which is going to be a
Yes.
Christmas related one, and another one which is also Christmas related that we're hoping to have confirmed
Yes.
by tomorrow. Both. Really great guests.
Great.
We're
I'm
very excited about them.
very excited to have
Yeah.
both of these guests on the show.
And
So,
they'll help to get you ready for Christmas and the holidays and understand what we're doing.
in the best possible way.
And so that's really cool. And then but don't be like grouchy Scroogey Noel has been
Yeah,
today. Let's
yeah.
be bright, happy,
Yeah.
fun people, and let's enjoy it and take advantage of some new packaging stuff that you learned on the Biofriendly podcast.
That's
today.
right. So you can make some good packaging choices when you're sending your family some Christmas presents this
Mm-hmm.
year. So we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Biofriendly podcast. We are your beacon of light in a gloomy environment.
We are featuring greater parasympathetic nerve activity.
More than just charismatic megafauna.
Dolphins don't quit.
Nature is perfect. Look at eggs.
We are y'all inclusive.
Don't mess with Smokey on this show.
This is the one I think I always forget. There is one more.
Yeah, we know we have the boat one.
Oh, the boat one.
And then we have you can't win them all, but we'll win the
We'll
rest.
win the rest.
And then there was one that we said last week. It probably had to do with fracking or something about it. I can't remember,
Yeah.
but it didn't stick.
It didn't stick.
So it didn't happen.
Yeah, the boat one's a good one. The
boat one.
About that.
The boat one.
Yeah, the boat one. Yeah.
It's classic us, isn't it? And a year, we're just like, the boat one. That one.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.